Hello and welcome to our PipsCast.
Number
5.
PipsCast number 5.
What are you doing?
I'm just going to check that we're focused. Sorry. There we go.
Okay.
Do I do that again?
Yes.
Okay. Go on then.
Hello and welcome to PipsCast number 5. Yep.
Oh, hello.
It's been a bit of an odd week.
Huh?
Just in as much as some days have been exceptionally busy and some days have been very, very slow. Just a bit like life, I guess. So what we found ourselves doing on some of the slow days was a bit of people watching.
Well, by mistake.
Well,
No, we were just going to go for a drive, weren't we? We were just
Yeah.
going for a drive, and we ended up,
going out for lunch instead,
yeah, which was nice.
which was lovely. Yep, unexpected surprise. And our first treat out
Yeah,
in
probably.
the time that we've been here.
Yeah, it's been.
So,
I mean, we had plans for that, didn't we? When we had plans to be spending a lot of time chilling, I suppose, and going to restaurants. I mean, not huge plans, but just kind of like, oh, well, we can do this, we can do that. But really, we haven't, have we?
no,
We've
we
been
haven't. So
quite
that
busy.
was our first, and it was unplanned. And usually, unplanned things always turn out more exciting or
I think they can
just
do. Yeah.
better than if you really plan something to the last degree.
Yeah. Well, you really enjoyed it, didn't you?
I did indeed, yes.
I did as well. So we thought we'd
So-
tell you about it.
Yep. We had a drive out. We were just breaking the day up because it had been a slow day. And we drove past a building. Sometimes it's hard to figure out whether it's like a cafe or a restaurant or a shop even, because they don't have like big shop fronts like they do in
the UK.
in the UK or
Yeah.
the US or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we figured that this was a restaurant. It did have a few tables outside, although nobody was sat there. There was lots of cars. It looked busy.
Yeah.
So I said, "Oh, that must be a good place to eat because it's busy."
Loads of
That's
cars.
generally a good sign. And as it wasn't our plan, we drove on further and had a look round the town that this restaurant was on the edge of, and then realised that it was getting on in the day, and we said, well, do we want to just go for a coffee and then go home and make some lunch, or shall we just treat ourselves and go out for lunch?
Yeah.
Well, that decision wasn't hard, was it? Yeah, we
No,
just went.
We just
and-
went for lunch. Yeah.
But it was very busy. It was a family-run place,
Yeah.
and all the tables were full. And then there were people just sort of queuing round the side of the restaurant where people were sitting, waiting for a table.
Yeah. There were people drinking at the bar.
That were, yeah.
When we first came in, we thought we were in a queue of maybe 20. We thought maybe, but then when you followed that queue and it went to the bar area as well, they were all a queue waiting to
Be
eat as
seated,
well. So
yeah.
there was probably about 30 people maybe
Yeah.
waiting to eat. So it was a busy little place. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Although we didn't wait that long.
We didn't. But
No.
what it did mean was that we then had time to just observe, which is sometimes really interesting and sometimes really nice.
Yeah.
And what really jumped straight out, obviously it was it a Sunday? I think it was a Sunday.
Yeah.
And there were families and there were couples and there was lots of sort of high energy chatter and lots of talking down the table and that kind of thing, which is really nice. And so we were just watching people, and it was clearly a family run place. So Dad was organising everyone. He was bringing out food, he was clearing tables, he was taking orders. There was like a young teenage boy, clearly the son. He was bringing out food just constantly, you know. And then Gran was there. She was bringing stuff out and she was clearing tables and chatting on to the customers. Grandad was behind the bar getting all the coffees and everything out. And we never saw Mum, so she must have been in the kitchen doing all of the food.
Yeah, we assumed, which was coming out at quite a pace
and looked extremely good.
Keeping her son busy.
Yeah.
Backwards and forwards, yeah.
So...
it was a set menu as
yes.
well, wasn't it? So that was quite easy. It did speed up things in that there was just the two
options.
Two options.
Yeah,
which
all with the same veg, and it was just say there was 3 people at the table, 1 plate of food came out and it had enough on there for 3 people.
Yeah.
And then you helped yourself to whatever you wanted off that plate.
Although the gentleman came to us, what we assumed was the dad, or the manager person who was doing all the run around. He came to us halfway through and asked us if we wanted anything else.
Yeah.
So if that plate for the 2 of us wasn't enough, is there anything else? Would you like some more?
Do you want more?
Yeah. Do you want more? Yeah. It was very nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And we were observing the other people in the queue as well, weren't we?
Yeah.
So it was quite a mix. I mean, there was some guys there who look as though they'd been just working, hadn't they? And they were in their work clothes and just waiting. And if a table of 4 became available, 2 twos would get sat at that table just to get the people sat down and get them fed. So there was a couple and then there was 2 workmen and sat down and they were just got on chatting away, chatting to the people on the table next to them.
Just behind you, because I was obviously facing in the direction that I could see, behind you there was a young gentleman who had been placed with an older gentleman that they'd never met before, because they were just coming in as 2 ones, obviously, and they were just getting on having a chat. It was just absolutely really nice to see.
Really nice.
Yeah.
And then we sort of started watching the people who were in the queue after us.
Behind us, yeah.
And it became quite apparent. So we were a 2, then there was another 2 after us and another 2 after them. And the last 2 to come in had their eye on a particular table.
They did.
And the lady was very sort of closer and closer. And she was claiming that table.
Yeah.
And then she sat her husband down.
She was, for the first sort of minute or 2, she was quite very subtle about the fact that she was just coming in there and sitting herself down at the back of the queue, like jumping the queue basically, which was
queue jumper.
Yeah. But then I think, I don't know, we didn't really watch too much, but something went on anyway, and they managed to, her and her husband managed to sit themselves down onto this seat. Yeah.
Yeah. And the couple behind you.
Couple behind us
who were after
in the queue.
us.
Yeah.
They were like,
no.
But there's a queue.
Yeah.
You can't be doing this. We're before you and they're before us.
Oh dear me.
So
it all started a little bit of a kerfuffle.
There was
That's
a bit of
for sure. A little bit of a kerfuffle. Yeah. So that was a bit of a thing, wasn't it, for a moment?
And it was just funny that it doesn't matter where you go, there's always somebody who wants to jump the queue, and there's always somebody who complains about the queue jumpers.
Yeah.
And
the gentleman was quite on it quite quickly.
He was, yes.
He was like,
he was going, no. There's this.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. Everybody's getting sat down.
Everybody's going to get sat down.
And then within a few seconds, we were sharing the table with the queue jumpers.
We did.
And the complainers got the table of 2 to themselves. But everybody got sat down and everybody had a delicious meal.
And actually the queue jumpers were okay.
They were. I think she was just worried because her husband was elderly and not that great on his feet. So she just wanted him sat down and looked after, basically.
I think that's true. And I think anybody would do the same.
Absolutely,
quite honestly.
Yes.
I think it was there was nothing there was
malicious.
no malice in there at all. It was just like she literally had claimed that seat. She was holding on to that seat. And you could see that's where she wanted to sit. And maybe because it was the one nearest the door as well. We don't really know. But it was very interesting to see that wherever you go, the experiences It's just people, isn't it?
It's just people, yeah.
The experiences,
the world over.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's just people that you interact with, and it's just the same. And we would have that in the UK, as I'm sure anybody would anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was interesting to see, but you really enjoyed that, didn't you?
I loved it.
You enjoyed the ambience, the atmosphere of it, didn't you? Of the chitter chatter, which was lovely, and it made me think. It made me think of families, because it was families. There were single people there, 2s and 4s, and I think who came in just before us, I think it was a table of 6. So it was very much a family day.
It was,
where they're all getting together and having their food, just the same as the world over. I'm sure. I'm sure, just the same.
Yeah.
Which was really, really pleasant. It was a really nice meal, and we're going to go back again. We'll go back, I think, on the next Sunday or the Sunday after that, maybe. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it was interesting. It was very nice.
And how everybody just enjoyed everything that they got, even though it was pretty much the set menu.
Yeah.
You got your main course, then there was a selection of desserts. You got whatever drink you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, because you had the standard, which is wine.
Well, yes, everybody has red wine with their meal.
Yeah, not a glass of red wine.
Yeah, not a stingy glass of red wine like you get in the UK. You just get a jug.
Not a 75 cl, just about. A jug.
Yeah, it's not the strong wine that you get in bottles, though.
Very nice though, just for a jug.
Just a local
wine, very fruity, tasty indeed. Yeah. I had a Sprite.
You did?
I didn't have a taste of the wine. I did. But I was driving, so it was a Sprite, I think also known as a 7-Up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think they're different, but...
Oh, are they? Oh, well, a Sprite then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice. So that was lovely. Yeah.
Yeah. It also sort of made me think I've had 2 or 3 experiences this week, because it's olive picking season. And it's the village seems to have expanded quite dramatically in its number of occupants, and it's obviously all the Portuguese coming in from Castelo Branco, from Porto, from wherever, and they're coming back to the family land, and they've got either a little house and they just come and use the house for the daytime because it's like a kitchen, and they or they've got a proper house and they stay here for the week. So we've had a few different people in and around the village, and they all know each other, and we're the newbies, we're the new people, we're the English.
They always, everybody that drives past just looks...
Yeah, they just slow down a bit and then they look. There's somebody in the house with the tiles.
People watching.
And they're people watching us.
Yeah, it happens all over, doesn't it?
And you can see that they want to say something, but they're oh, well, they're English, so are they going to understand me? Do they speak Portuguese? And the big icebreaker that I found this week is Max.
I was going to say Max.
Yeah.
That lady just then.
Yeah.
Just before we started this.
5 minutes before we turned the camera on,
yeah.
Our neighbours who own all the land out the back of our tiny house, they arrived to do tidying up and checking their olive trees, and they gave us a wave and a hello, but Max got the full prince treatment.
Yeah.
They're talking to him like he's a human, blah, 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 and kissing him and rubbing him, and he got from both the lady and the gentleman. And that's happened at least 3 times this week alone for
I
me.
think that's the case again in...
Yeah, a real icebreaker. Yeah.
Having said that though, when we were doing something outside the house, I can't remember what it was we were doing, but we were doing a little bit of work on an evening, and that gentleman came driving up in his newer Nissan, and I was saying newer Nissan because it's the same as ours, but we had a chat on because we've got an old Nissan, and he had like a quite a new one, so it was quite interesting about the years between our 2 cars, even though they're the same. So I mean that was exactly it, because then for like we stood there for 20 minutes maybe, did we?
Possibly.
Talking. We were talking in English, they were talking in Portuguese.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we managed to have a conversation for 15
And
or 20 minutes.
understand each other.
Yeah.
Fairly well.
Yeah, it was interesting. And that was just an icebreaker of, we think that the Portuguese are interested, aren't they? They
Definitely.
want to know.
Yes.
And not in a what we would say
Not in a nosy way.
Yeah, we would say in the UK that's being nosy was what we would say, but not in that way at all. It's more about an interest in what you're doing and who you are, and we got invited to. He said, when you drive through this village, if you see this car, that's where we live.
Yeah, come and knock on the door.
Come and knock on the door. So I mean that's the sort of thing that we get quite regularly, I suppose, which is again really, really nice. Mm-hmm. Just starting up a conversation in the middle of the street. So yeah, Max definitely is an icebreaker, but also people just really want to stop and have a chat, don't they?
Yeah, and I think they are proud of where they live, and they want you to sort of be welcomed into that.
And I think they want you to be proud of it as well.
Yeah.
I get that feeling.
Definitely.
We've been told a few times that people hope that we are happy here.
Yes.
A few people have said that. In Portuguese, they've even tried to say it in English, which was really, 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 really nice. I just thought that was nice that they're trying to make that effort to say, we hope you are happy here.
Yes.
In in English language. But
Yeah.
but yeah.
Please let me take a moment to talk to you about the sponsor of this PipsCast, DB Journey. DB Journey are a company making innovative products from carefully sourced, high quality and sustainable materials. Their manifesto states that they want you to go out into the world in pursuit of your passions. They believe, as we do, without travel we lose inspiration, and without the unknown we lose discovery. DB Journey reached out to us, allowing us to choose whichever product we thought would be of greatest benefit to us. We chose the Strom 50 litre backpack and have used it on all our journeys since. To Scotland, to the Lake District twice, and now here to Portugal. What I really love about it is it's stylish yet functional. The internal zip pockets make it easy to pack for 2 people, while the separate laptop pocket is reinforced, giving it really good protection. I found the broad padding on the straps comfortable, and the top pocket is so useful when I need quick access to the camera. DB Journey have given us a discount for you, so if you're interested in any of their products, go to dbjourney.com and use code PensionersInPortugal15 for a 15% discount. Thank you again to DB Journey for sponsoring this PipsCast.
But I just wanted to talking about the truck. It just got me thinking about Jacques the other day.
Oh yeah.
If you've seen the village, if you've seen the videos of our work on the land, that gentleman who did the main digging work is Jacques.
Yeah.
And he was, I don't know the full story because you picked up the phone, didn't you? We were just driving into Castelo Branco.
Yeah.
About a few days ago, and Jacques gave us a phone call, and you had the conversation.
He was just sort of saying, is there any chance that you can come and help me? Because I need somebody with the truck. My truck is still in the garage.
Yeah.
So I sort of said, oh, well, yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to help you out. And he said, I need somebody to come to my farm, pick up a cement mixer and take it to where I'm going to do some work later in the week.
Yeah, which sounded simple enough, didn't it?
That sounds simple enough.
It sounded simple enough until you've seen the size of a cement mixer. I had no idea. Yeah. I don't know what I was expecting because I kind of figured cement mixers were big, but it was quite big. But anyway, that was just,
So I just went, well, yes, of course. You know, loads of people have helped us out.
Yeah.
hooray, Carlos came and pulled the poor truck out of the mud.
Yeah.
But, so we finished doing what we were doing. It was a miserable, miserable wet day. We were forecast for rain all day and thunder. But he sent us the info to go to his farm.
Yeah.
So we set off.
Google Maps said 45 minutes.
Yeah, and you know what Google Maps and us are like. It's always longer. So after a bit more than an hour, he messaged and said, "Are you lost?" So then I messaged back saying, "No, we're stuck in your village behind a funeral." Because even though it was chucking it down with rain, the street was full of people with their umbrellas.
Yeah.
There was a car in front of us that couldn't move because of all the people. Then there was us. Then there was 2 cars behind us, so we couldn't even reverse out and try and find an alternate route. But the church was so full that the people couldn't get in.
That's what it seemed like, didn't it?
So we had to wait until the service was over. Then the church opened up, and then all of a sudden, all the people were like, "Whoa!"
There was
all
just
the
more
brollies,
people.
the umbrellas did a little bob, and everybody was off up the street following the funeral. So, and then of course the road emptied out, but only at the walking pace of the funeral. So all of the cars were then chugging along at the walking pace of the funeral, and we eventually got to
behind all the umbrellas.
All the umbrellas.
All we could see really was just umbrellas.
Sea of umbrellas.
It wasn't the heaviest rain at that point, but it was quite heavy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To be just sitting there. Yeah. Meanwhile, Jacques was waiting for us, but there's nothing we could do.
Nothing we could do.
We just had to sit and wait.
Yeah.
Lovely little village, but I'm looking forward to going back. So I don't think we got a good look at that village. It looked really
it looked
nice.
interesting.
It looked very interesting. Yeah. But because of the rain and because we were stuck and because we were in a relative hurry to get to Jacques, who was waiting for us. But then we finally, well, not finally, but it took us about an hour and a half in the end, didn't it?
It did, yes.
But like a 45-minute journey.
We got to his farm.
Yeah, in the rain, and the rain had got heavier by that point.
Had to then find out how to lift this humongous cement mixer up into the back of the truck.
Oh, that was the thing, because he immediately went to the back of the truck to open up the tailgate. Ours has got a tailgate, although it's been permanently closed because it's quite low. The previous owner had permanently closed it, so we could just usually lift things over. But there wasn't the tailgate option for Jacques, so then we had to
get some boards out. I was up inside the truck, like holding it, and you two were pushing it from the outside.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a comedy. But we got it in, and then he shot off to the place that we were going to because other stuff was being delivered at that point. And we could then just dawdle along with this big cement mixer and the lashing rain and everything, and then had to do the whole kerfuffle in reverse.
Yeah, in a slightly tighter spot as well. In a street.
In a street on a hill.
Yeah, it was on a hill as well.
We were trying to get it out of the truck without it falling in and down the road. And then the house that he was working on was literally just a shell with no roof or anything. So once we got that done then.
Yeah.
And that was just hilarious.
We just we don't film these things. I don't expect things to go as they go sometimes. We're just going to go and help Jacques move a cement mixer. You know, it was a simple idea, and you were like, "Yeah, no problem, Jacques. We'll be over in a little while."
Yeah.
Well, the little while turned out like hours later, as things do, and then it turned out dark, and then it was raining, and I don't know. When we think back on it, it's quite a story, and I think we should carry the camera more often, maybe, and film.
I don't know whether we could have put it out in the rain though, because it was tipping.
That's practicalities of it. Yes, definitely, because I don't think we would have got much filmed, would we?
Yeah.
Mind you, could you imagine us trying to film us lifting that huge, great cement? No. Okay.
All hands were needed everywhere.
Yeah, all hands. Yeah, but we did it, and it was good, and it worked, and Jacques was happy, and we felt a little bit accomplished, didn't we? That
We
done.
did. We'd helped somebody out after being
yeah.
helped out so often ourselves.
Yeah, which was nice, and that was the point. That was the point. I mean, he needed it anyway, but we thought, it'd be great. Yeah, we're going to do something, and we had nothing on. It was a rainy day.
It was a wet afternoon. Exactly.
So that day went really quick in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and we're going to go back and visit Jacques at his farm shortly, but not in the rain. And he's going to visit our land again shortly. He wants to pop over,
to check out the lake.
Check out the lake. He's very keen on how that's working. Just for an update on everybody, I don't know how far ahead we are at the moment. What we've showed you, you've seen the lake being built on YouTube. I know that, but the lake's doing really, really well.
It is,
isn't it?
It is quite full.
It is. This morning's been the fullest it's been. Which makes me think that the water table has now risen, and we are getting water from underground a little bit. That's what I think. Possibly, yeah. So I think the well. Sorry, not the well. So I was thinking about the well as well. That's not got any water in, but the lake. Yes, the lake is seems to be holding
and doing well.
Yeah, but Jacques' going to come back at some point, have a look at it, see how it's doing. And that'll be an update we can share possibly on YouTube.
Yeah.
But so it's been a good week, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
It's been a quick week again. We talked about this, I think, on the last video or the video before.
The weeks.
The weeks do fly by.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's become Wednesday. No, what's the day again? Thursday again today. Before we know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back here having a chat with you guys. So,
well, I hope you've enjoyed it. We are going to have a slightly different week because for those in the know that one of our daughters is here with us. So Jade is visiting with us. So we're going to have a few more days off, a few more days out. And she's brought the good weather with her, which is quite strange coming from the UK. So after the rain that we had with the cement mixer helping out Jacques, we now have a glorious day.
Yeah, it's a lovely day.
So we might have a pop out and
have a few more relaxing days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do a bit more people watching in the cafes with a coffee or
definitely.
whatever.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I hope you've enjoyed another one of our chats. Please give us a like, and if you're enjoying what we do, subscribe. We are just enjoying what we do.
Yeah,
and we hope you're enjoying it with us.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you very much for watching. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.